downtown restaurant and bar, and we have a heartbreaking update. We can confirm now that prominent Memphis pastor Ricky Floyd has been shot and killed. And Pastor Floyd, not just a leader at his church in Fraser, as we all know him, but also a leader in the community. Just some tragic and heartbreaking news this morning. Fox 13's Jeremy Pierre joining us live downtown, covering this all morning long. And Jeremy, your sources confirmed his identity. Just a devastating loss for our area.
Yeah, several independent sources confirming that the victim is well-known pastor Ricky Floyd, the pastor of the Pursuit of God Church in Fraser. According to police officers, they responded to the shooting just before 1:20 this morning here at Crump in Kentucky, in front of Mama's Bar and Grill. And again, several independent sources confirming that the victim, the man who got shot and killed in this shooting, is that of Pastor Ricky Floyd. Again, we're working right now to gather more information about the woman Memphis police have detained in this shooting. We do know that one woman is detained, haven't heard or learned of any charges as of yet. But again, heartbreaking update. I'm sure a lot of people in the Fraser community are going to be heartbroken by this sad update, knowing that he has started so many initiatives in that community, knowing that he's brought so much betterment to that community, and always willing to help whoever he possibly could in that community and even outside of Fraser. But definitely heartbreaking update this morning, learning of the shooting death of Pastor Floyd.
Yeah, definitely true. As you mentioned, Jeremy, not just people there at his church, but he was a part of so many things across the entire.
Doesn't get in. She doesn't drive off. She retrieves her gun and conceals it behind her back. This isn't exactly what the public is scared of.
A Memphis woman accused of killing Pastor Ricky Floyd denied a reduced bond during her bail hearing this morning. Memphis police say 42-year-old Samantha Marion shot Floyd after an argument at a bar. She's currently being held on a $100,000 bond. Her attorneys claim this was a case of self-defense, but WREG's Kwamitra Wilburn explains why prosecutors disagree.
That there are also serious public safety concerns, and I find that the $100,000 bond is reasonable in this situation.
During her bail hearing Friday morning, Judge John Marshall decided to keep Samantha Marion's bond at $100,000. Marion is facing a voluntary manslaughter charge after allegedly shooting and killing Pastor Ricky Floyd. According to the affidavit, the two had gotten into an argument inside a South Memphis bar that spilled outside.
That's a public safety concern. That is exactly what we're trying to have people not do.
Marion's attorney confirms she had never met Floyd before this incident. Judge Marshall says the court finds that unless it is self-defense, anytime a gun is pulled and shot, it is an act of violence that puts the community at risk.
This is another act of gun violence in our city.
Prosecutors argued Marion's bond should not be lowered due to public safety, and they believe the likelihood of conviction is good. She says the surveillance video details what happened.
Go home. It's 1:17. Go to your children. But no, she gets a gun, conceals it behind her back, gets out of her car, and starts approaching Mr. Floyd, telling him not to approach her.
What the state failed to mention was that she was followed into the parking lot, that her phone was taken from her hand and thrown from her. She was verbally assaulted inside and outside of the bar.
Marion's attorneys, John Keith Perry and Kevin Macy, say Marion is a mother of 4 who has never had any run-ins with the law. Perry says they believe this is a classic case of self-defense.
This was a person she had never met before. The information about her following him with some video is totally inaccurate.
Reporting for your news leader, Kwamitra Wilburn, WREG News Channel.
Hey y'all, welcome to my channel, Listen to Lucille. I'm Lucille and I hope everyone is in great health and spirits today. Now, if you are new here, this is the place where I talk about trending topics in the news, media, and on YouTube. So if that sounds like your vibe, be sure to click on the subscribe button. I haven't posted anything on here in about a month or so, mainly because, I didn't feel like it sometimes, but about 2 weeks ago I had the flu, and after that I lost my voice, and also family's been a little crazy, and then last week it was spring break, so I was out with my family or whatever, and YouTube's just not my life. I don't prioritize it like that. If it's yours and you do, that's fine. It's just not what I do full time. And sometimes it's just best to stick with the business that pays you, Now let's move along. By now, I'm sure you all have heard about the pastor being unalived by a woman at a bar last Wednesday at around 1 a.m. There have been several YouTube videos made about this subject, and before I get into my spiel, I just want to send my condolences to his family and friends. He was a known pastor, and he did a lot of great things for the community he served in. So my thoughts and prayers are with them. And to be clear, he and the young lady that unalived him at the bar that night did not know each other prior to the incident. Although there's been a lot of speculation saying that they did know each other, but per the attorney, they did not know each other. But let me know what y'all think about that in the comments. The incident occurred not too far from where I live. I've been there a few times to get something to eat and just to hang out. It's just one of those places where if you don't live in the area or work in the area, or if you're just not out like that, you really wouldn't know too much about it. It's usually a mixed crowd and it stays open late. And most of the time, restaurants and bars that are like that and low key like that are usually creep spots. If you know, you know. So I do see where, it can come across as if they may have had something going on, but it's been confirmed that they didn't. Now, the shooting stemmed from an argument that started inside the bar earlier that night between Pastor Floyd and 3 other people, including Samantha Marion, and that's the lady that's being charged for unaliving him. Allegedly, the argument was about him not paying for drinks because they don't tithe to the church. And honestly, I could see something silly like that happening at a bar as well. However, according to witnesses and video surveillance, Pastor Floyd was the main aggressor in this situation. Now, per the affidavit, it states on March 12, 2025, at approximately 1:14 a.m., Memphis police officers responded to a shooting call in front of 855 Kentucky Street, Mama's Bar and Kitchen. Officers arrived and located a male, later tentatively identified as Ricky Floyd, suffering from a gunshot wound lying in the roadway. Memphis Fire Department personnel arrived on the scene and pronounced Floyd deceased on the scene at 1:24 a.m. Officers located Samantha Marion on the scene, who was one of the individuals who had called 911. Officers queried her as to where the shooter was, and she replied that she shot the subject. Marion was taken to custody on the scene. Okay, it also goes on to say that investigators made contact with witnesses, I won't say their names, who stated that they had been inside the business with Marion when they became involved in an argument with Floyd. They advised that Floyd left the business and they proceeded outside. While talking outside, they advised that Floyd returned and became irate and aggressive towards all 3 of them. The portion of the incident was captured on video surveillance of good quality. In the video, Floyd is seen throwing Marion's phone to the ground and throwing a beer can. He then gets into his vehicle and begins to drive away. Marion walks into the roadway and appears to be recording his vehicle with her cell phone. Floyd stops his vehicle, exits, and walks towards Marion. The witness is seen getting between them, creating some distance between Marion and Floyd. Video then shows Marion walks towards Floyd, who begins walking backwards away from her. As he backs away, he is seen falling to the ground. It does not get back up after that. I stated before that this is very unfortunate for all parties involved. Nonetheless, men need to stop arguing with women. And I say that because I've witnessed situations and been in situations where these men are something else. They cannot wait to call you out of your name and get up in your face. Now, we all have a right to elect how we defend ourselves, but no woman poses as a threat to a man in an argument. Now, me personally, being a woman, the moment any man becomes irate with me and says that they're going to harm me physically, for one, I no longer look at you as a man. I see you as a girl dog. And for two, I'm threatened. I'm scared. So whatever I have to do to disable you, I'm going to do it, plain and simple. Now, in this case, there was alcohol involved, so that's a factor as well. But at the same time, he drove off and he came back. And in a situation like that, I would be thinking like, hey, it's either me or you at this point. I'm not justifying anyone's actions. I stated before that it's unfortunate for all parties involved, and I send my condolences to the families. What I'm saying is that there's been an uptick in men being violent and arguing with women, getting all in their face and threatening to harm them, and women aren't playing anymore, and they shouldn't. Just think about if that was your daughter or your mom or your sister put in that situation. Wouldn't you want them to defend themselves? That's all I'm saying. I believe everyone in general should walk away from an argument because you don't know how it will end. But specifically for men, no real man sits up and argues and cackles with a woman. It's not respectable. Know your place as a man. Stop jumping all up in women's face, calling them out their name, saying you're going to do this, that, and the other to them, because they are threatened at that point. And from that point, things usually go left. But that's it for right now, y'all. Let me know what you think in the comments. Thank you for watching me, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Bye.